Salutations YouTube and YouTube audiences. This is going to be my first video and introduction to what this channel is going to be about, and what's going to be featured on here. And I'm just going to give you a general idea. I don't really have anything concrete as of right now. But the first thing I want to start with is one of my biggest things, personally for me, is I'm starting my own manga. And that's what this channel is mainly going to focus around, and all the different things. I've been writing a script for the first chapter, and I've got about 7 pages ready, almost on 8. I'm gonna write a bit more and stuff. It's not very complicated doing this. I kind of want to make this an update thing, where I keep pumping out updates over time to show you how close I am to finishing it. And so these are some of the first pages I've drawn, and these aren't what it's gonna look like, because these are just rough drawings of how I want things to be planned out. I still haven't gotten that far because I had to go back and rewrite the script to make more sense, because when I wrote it, it made sense at the time, but the way when I went back to continue and finish writing, it didn't really make sense. So I had to go back and update the scripts. As you can see, updated. The original versions I threw out because they just weren't good at all. But yeah, as you can see, it's a school setting anime, kind of like a charter school, I guess, or kind of a college campus like school. If you know, if you've ever played not Strange, Life is Strange, it's kind of that type of setting, where it's like, it's a college, it's an academy, but it's not really like a college or anything. And so, these are some of the sketches that I have. That's for another series, and another one, a little sneak peek. Hold on. My bad. Just give me a second. Okay, yeah, these are some of the drawings I drew. This is for, like, the school buildings and stuff. And all that. And then you got some characters. I haven't drawn full bodies for these characters and stuff yet, but that's not going to be very hard. I could put out an update video to show their body type and what type of attire they'll be wearing, because it's going to be uniform based, but I'll also put out pictures of them in casual clothes, because I know that, like, a lot of anime, they just keep the characters in one outfit, and it begs the question, like, does this person ever shower? So I want to avoid that. These are some of the characters that I've drawn. These are all originally designed straight from my head, so none of these characters are stolen. I hope not, at least. You know, these are all off the top of my head and what I came up with. And to be honest, coming up with original characters is actually a very hard thing in terms of design, because there are so many designs that could end up looking similar to other characters that would cause problems, and then people would just call you out for having something too similar. But yeah, so here's the script once again, and then I have a synopsis and idea and stuff, but I'm just going to break it down real simple right now. Basically, the anime is about this girl who's going to be the main character. I prefer a female main character, because they're easier to write for some reason. I don't know why, personally. But it's just an anime about a girl who attends the school, and the thing about the people in this world, or at least the majority of them, it's kind of like My Hero Academia and the quirks, but the people in this world have these emote abilities, where their emotions create these weapons, and these weapons are strong or weaker depending on how strong their emotional state, that a particular emotion is. And sometimes certain emotions only create certain types of weapons. And very rarely do you get, like, combo weapons, or weapons that have dual purposes or whatever. Another thing to draw this back to and connect this to would be Freezing Vibration. That's one of my inspirations. and Green Lanterns. That's also another inspiration. Green Lanterns and the Lanterns Corps, Red Lantern Corps, Yellow Lantern Corps, blue, purple, pink. That's basically, I took that and combined it with freezing, and I came up with this anime. And so it also has kind of almost a Naruto like storyline where there's a person who was older, but the thing is, no, I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, it's going to have a plot. It's going to feature a plot. It's not just going to be like a Saturday morning cartoon type of thing. I eventually hope to make it its own anime. I'm not really sure how far I'll get there. You saw it on paper because the reason it's drawn on paper is because personally I'm better at drawing on paper than with my graphics tablet, which is over there under that stack of papers. But yeah, I have some art supplies to do stuff on paper, and I'll most likely just scan it in and put it on the computer, and then connect my tablet to my laptop in order to edit the images and make them the way that I want to. But that is not the only thing that's on this channel. I'm also into Marvel and DC comics. As you can see, I was going to draw this big Infinity War picture, never got around to it. I drew this Thanos, didn't like it, so I drew this one and colored it. On my wall, you can see a bunch of mostly Marvel stuff that I'm a fan of. DC's not doing too good with their movies right now, so they don't get any recognition. But, yeah, those aren't the only stories, though, as I have different stories. I was going to work on a Spider-Man fan comic, and then, alternatively, I had another anime thing, and this one I'm hoping works out well, because it's a shared manga/anime universe, because you don't get a lot of that in different animes. You might have crossovers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the animes are within the same continuity. And then I had one that was inspired by Jim Henson's movies like Dark Crystal and another movie like Willow. God, I love those movies. It's also inspired by Legend of Zelda and Studio Ghibli's, like the fantastical element of all that stuff. I also have a slasher series that I'm working on. You might have accidentally seen a sneak peek of that, called Dark, and it's going to be very dark because I'm planning on putting a lot of messed up themes within the series. Abortions, rape, and some really bad stuff. Just horrible. I don't know why I came up with that. I guess I was just having a bad day that day and I ran with it. There's another drama series that I'm working on called Depressed. It's going to be a one-shot, so that might get pushed out first before my Freezing Vibration Green Lantern mix show comes. That show's called Fatal Blade, by the way. So Depressed might end up coming out way before Fatal Blade. But yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to go for different types of genres and types of writing. For people that like Dragon Ball style stories, I was going to write my own and keep it more grounded. I was going to start with like the original Dragon Ball type of story, where where Goku was a child running around with Bulma, and I was going to keep it grounded to Earth rather than spinning off into space and aliens and all that. And I love that stuff, but I also really love Dragon Ball and the martial arts element of that type of stuff. I also was going to work on launch fan manga. If you guys know, there was a Yamcha fan series, fan manga that came out that some guy made, and then he officially was hired to write and create the series. And it didn't really last that long because it wasn't a long series, but it was alright. It was pretty good. And I'm a fan of Yamcha. I don't know if any of you are out there. But yeah, this is what I had. I had a launch fan manga because I actually think her character has a lot of potential in terms of how she could develop as a character, and Toriyama and the whole Dragon Ball crew just kind of dropped her, and I was hoping Toyotaro would like bring her back in, and he didn't, and I'm kind of salty about it. But yeah, this one, I'll have to talk about this one in another video. This one is different. But yeah. But I won't just be writing stories on this channel. I'll be doing other stuff. As I said, I like Marvel and DC Comics, and I wanted to make something for Infinity War that came out. By the way, great movie. Go see it if you haven't. Yeah, I was going to do this thing where I had taken notes on what each Infinity Stone did, and I'm a cosplay prop maker and all that, and I wanted to make a cosplay prop, or not even a prop. I wanted to make an actual Infinity Gauntlet that had actual functions. So, like, the Power Stone was going to power the actual gauntlet. Like, the way I had it set up, I was going to, like, have the forearm area be an incomplete circuit, and when you put the Power Stone in there, it's a complete circuit, so it, like, can do certain things, and then it powers the other stone. So then when you get the Time Stone, maybe it'll keep track of time. I don't know. Maybe it'll record things and reverse it, and you can play it back as a way to reverse time. Mind Stone. I don't know. Keep notes or something. I'd have to go through and figure out what it was. Figure out what it is that I want to do with that. Soul Stone. That's one that's hard. Reality Stone. This is kind of a spoiler, but not really. In Infinity War, he uses it to create illusions, so maybe it'll be like a projector and project different types of images that you can switch through via a switch on the palm or something like that. But I'm really hoping that goes through. And I also had another video planned where I would talk about the Infinity Gauntlet and relating the Infinity Stones / gems to actual, like, stones and gems and stuff that are used as, like, chakra stones and stuff like that. And if you wanted to use that, you know, find a way to use that on a spiritual level or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. Once again, I will continue to put out updates on my mangas and different types of series and all that. I'll also be putting out videos of me drawing. One thing I want to do is apologize about the quality of these videos. They won't be up to par like some of the other art videos, but I'm going to do the best that I can until I get some better equipment and stuff to do. So yeah, putting out art, making props and stuff, updates on writing, and artwork for my manga. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys notice the music in the background, that's actually playing from my laptop. I didn't actually get to edit it in because I don't have good editing software, and that sucks. One thing I'm planning on doing for my manga to promote it is to put out artwork and sell it. So I want to know if some of you guys are interested in that. Another thing I could do is set up a Patreon or GoFundMe or something like that. I'm not entirely sure about that yet. But I'm hoping this channel goes over well and this series goes over well. But yeah, that's all I have to say. You know, welcome to Entertainment Studios. My name is Jameer, and I hope you all have a very good day and a very good evening, night, whatever the case may be. And sayonara.